Good morning. Today we are here to give a presentation on the difference of AC/DC. During the next 8 minutes, our presentation will introduce the basic explanation of AC/DC and give simple explain to you and the conclusion. My name is Everett.
My name is Chloe.
My name is Charlie. Viewing in the history of AC/DC, the incandescent lamp was invented in 1881 by Thomas Edison. Actually, in those times in America, the standard method for power supply was DC. In order to accelerate the spread of incandescent lines, Edison embarked on a business of expanding DC 110 voltage transmission grids. Transmission in DC, however, suffered from the problem of significant voltage drops, so much so that the maximum distance over which power can be bound for practical purpose in 1.5 kilometers, which would have required construction of power generation station right where people live, in cities and towns, a scenario which would be unimaginable now. As an alternative, Nikola Tesla devised AC-based power generation, transmission, and utilization methods, and fought with Edison in the so-called War of Currents. Ultimately, Tesla and his camp emerged victorious, a turn of events that is felt even now. Thanks to the advantage of the AC system that provides simplicity of voltage transmission, permits the use of thin and long transmission wires, and offer the capability to transmit power with little.
I will move on to the example. First example is electric vehicle motor is 3 phases. Electric vehicle are divided into AC electric vehicle and DC electric vehicle. Generally speaking, an electric vehicle uses a battery as a source of energy and converts electric energy into machinal energy through a controller. A motor and the light to control the current to change the speed of the car. The first electric car was built in 1834. It was driven by a DC motor, electric tricycle, electric scooters, pure electric vehicles, and extended range electric vehicles, hybrid electric vehicles, fuel cell vehicles. According to the way of power supply, it can be divided into the 2 categories. One is to connect external power to a button power, and the other is to use fuel cells. Energy storage devices such as energy storage battery supply capacitor as power vehicle. Nowadays, electric vehicle is become more and more. Regarding whether the electric vehicle is powered by DC or DC, there have been many people controversial about this topic. A large number of people still don't understand why. Here is a professional perspective. In a word, it is DC before entering the controller. The input motor is AC, and then the controller is frequency converted. The 220 volt inverter is also the first DC to change the frequency of AC change, which is almost the same step here.
And I will talk another example about DC and AC fan. First, I will introduce DC fan. In order to solve the AC fan's noise problem, modern home appliance manufacturers are gradually changing the motors of electric fans to DC. It makes electric fans more energy efficient and also operates the fan at low speed. DC fans can also keep quiet at night, and the noise from DC fan can be as low as 15 decibels. DC fans use first less power than conventional AC fan. So the number of air conditioning sessions of DC fan is more than AC fan, and the price are generally higher than the AC fan. But if the design is undesirable, the air volume of the DC fan may be unstable. So in order to better control of air volume, it's built in microcomputers and it can simulate natural wind. Next, I will introduce AC fans. And compare with DC fan, the air volume of AC fan is stable, and the effect of enhancing air conventions is better. It's used to use the place with bigger space, such as kitchen, sitting room. The number of fans blades of AC fans is usually only 3 to 5, so it can't operate at a low speed. When the fan blade moves, the sound of wings cutting is also larger. People with sleep disorders may be easier woke up. But AC fans are simple in construction, so most are lighter than the DC fan that require transformers. Finally, AC fans are less energy efficient than DC fan. And next, I will talk some data information about Macau. At present, the electricity generation in Macau is handled by the power plant on the Macau and 2 power plants located in Palawan. In fact, however, 2 power plants have been decommissioned, generating only 10% of Macau's total electricity consumption. Macau's main power supply is through the transmission of electricity from the mainland, which accounts for 80% of Macau's electricity supply. The transmission network is composed of 19 main substations set up by CEN. Macau is powered by the 110 kV substation connected to 2 Zhuhai and Nanping substations, and 220 kV substation connected to Kongbei and Zhuhai substations. We'll pass the next speaker.
Okay, here comes our conclusion. Alternating current is widely used around the world. Macau now are using both alternating currents and also direct currents. Alternating currents describe the flows of charge that change direction periodically. As a result, the voltage level also reverses along with the currents. AC is used to deliver power to houses, office building, and etc. Direct current is a bit easier to understand than alternating currents. Rather than oscillating back and forth, DC provides stable voltage and currents to the operating circuits. In our opinion, both alternating currents and direct currents is useful in Macau. Different methods can be used in different areas. By using the correct methods, the usage rate of power can get to the maximum. And this is the end of our presentation, and thank you for your listening.